perfect. That's scary. Okay, welcome to March meeting of the Electoral Board. Shall we have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And shall we go around the room and tell everyone our names? The registrar will now announce her name.
Trish Jones, General Registrar.
Betty Gibbs, Secretary of the Electoral Board.
David Levy, Chairman of the Electoral Board.
Jerry Shreko, Vice Chair of the Electoral Board.
You are.
Jeff Rosner, Lynchburg Democratic Committee, Authorized Representative, and Voter Protection Liaison.
I'm Roz Webb, citizen.
Judy Ferris, citizen.
Greg Barry, citizen.
Carolyn Schrago, citizen.
Mark Hand, News in Advance.
Brenda Farmer, citizen.
Thank you all for coming. And we have an election coming up. We have a vote coming up on April 21st that we finally have in place. Yes, well, the voting has started, of course. I was fourth in the line after Chris Ferrari. On our agenda is approval of our agenda. Do any unreadiness on the agenda? I think it's all in place. Do I hear a motion? I so move that we approve the agenda for this meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. No opposition, it's passed. We have the minutes from the February 12th meeting. Any concerns or changes about the minutes from the February 12th meeting? We also have the minutes from the February 10th and 11th closed meeting.
No.
That was I have this on top of mine.
It's not on here.
Okay. So do we need to approve this February 10th and 11th meeting?
What's it?
I think we do.
Yes, we should. We should change the agenda.
Okay. And, we have added the February 10th and 11th closed meeting minutes to the agenda.
Approve the vote at the same time.
Yes.
All right. I'll make a motion that we approve both sets of meetings minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
It is passed. Okay, moving into announcements. Do we have any announcements other than early voting has started? Any announcements from you, Ms. Jones?
No.
Okay, let's move on into your report as General Registrar, please. My compliments to working the electronics.
It's a work in progress. I've made very good friends with Amber at IT.
Have the right friends.
All right. All right, now, okay, here we go. I was going to say, how do we change the page? Okay, first up is registry counts by locality. The biggest thing here, you'll notice that there's just every precinct has inactive voters. And that's due to the NCOA processing that took place and elect flipped the voters to inactive status on March 5th. So each precinct now has quite a few inactive voters, just over 5,000 for the city. So that will start working on that process to help clean the voter rolls. More breakdown here by By precinct, you'll see some of the precincts, specifically their 401 has an increase of 44 voters for the year, actually, because this will be a year-to-date accumulation. But everything's pretty much remaining steady, a little bit of an increase in 404. But we're kind of remaining at a steady flow. It's balancing itself out. Does anybody have any questions about that?
No, thank you. Moving on.
Okay. The budget, we'll start seeing things from this election hit the budget by next month. Right now, we're running at about 75% of our total budget for the year. So by the time we get through this election, we're definitely going to have to need a third quarter budget adjustment. Postage, I know right now, after we've entered postage for the postcard mail out for precinct 201, and then today sending out the notices to precinct 401 for the precinct move, we are well over budget in postage of all things. So, but right now we set it about 75% of the budget for the year. Ongoing projects, the page program is a continual, it's a work in progress. We still got some backup precinct paperwork that we need to update. The chief deputy registrar position, the requisition is open with the city. It will be open through Sunday, and we're going to hire a chief deputy for the office. The precinct move for 401 has been completed. Finally got the seal of approval from the Department of Elections. The letters were generated, and they are now in the hands of the vendor to get those mailed out. Election worker management software just awaits the decision of the electoral board. The annual less exercise, the remediation plan for that is due on April 1st, and I will submit that to the board sometime this week for your review. And then, of course, the VSSP is not due until August 28th. Early voting is underway. We're open. The last day of early voting will be April 18th, Saturday. We're also open Saturday, April 11th. The Department of Elections has issued the order for the August primary, and that's posted in locations throughout the city. On the 13th of April, they will publish a list of localities with primaries for local candidates. We're always looking, the electoral board's always looking for applicants for officers of election. We had a big postcard mail out to precinct 201 that went out this week due to it's not a precinct change. They're still at the same precinct, just a different location in the precinct. 401 has been approved, like I said before, and then we have LNA testing for the scanning equipment that's scheduled for April 7th. Tonight at 6 o'clock, we have Citizens Academy. The 13th and 27th, we're going to do some precinct walkthroughs with Lynchburg City Schools to prepare for the election on with school in session. Some election officer training coming up, and that's about it.
On the security remediation plan,
Yes.
does the electoral board actually have a meeting to approve the submission?
You'll have to have a meeting to approve the final submission, which will be on May 1st. This one I would send to you via email for your review.
So you'll submit a remediation plan, and then we'll submit a final submission May 1st.
Yes.
And then our May meeting, we can, our April meeting, excuse me, we can review that or go into closed session.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any council budget reviews coming up?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't checked to see when, I can give Megan a call and find out when we, should look at putting in that proposed, for the budget adjustment.
Any other questions about the, any board members about the registrar report?
Budget adjustment. One thing for the electoral board, I did attach, it didn't make it into the registrar's report because one was done before the other. You have a projected ballot order,
Right.
attached there that I would like for the board to approve, just with, I know the first part of early voting is always busier. But we've definitely had more voters even in the first part of this early voting than we were anticipating. So I'd like to go ahead and do, another ballot order just to err on the side of caution. And, do I think that we're gonna use all these ballots that we're ordering right here? No, but we can use them on election day.
Well, our initial order was premised on a range of about 15%
Yes.
turnout. What is the range you're thinking we should make this order thinking about?
I'm thinking that probably for the entirety of the election, I'm looking at probably maybe 30 to 35%. Now, just based on this one week, we'll know more as early voting goes on, but I just don't want to get caught in a situation, because we only started with X amount of ballots.
Right.
Because of that, I don't want to get caught in a situation where we're going to run out of ballots.
Well, that's 30 to 35% is consistent with local elections in the past.
Yeah.
It's not a bad number. There is turnout across the state, so
Yes.
it's not just us.
Yes. So, we crossed 1,000 voters this morning. I forgot to look on the way out the door to see what the number was. Of course, the weather today held it down, but we're averaging 200 voters today.
I didn't compare it to the November numbers. Did you happen to compare it to the?
No, I have not compared it to the November numbers.
As of the beginning of the week, they were just only slightly behind the November numbers,
Yes.
which is surprising.
Yeah, we had 268 voters on the first day, Friday, and then on Monday, we had 291. And Tuesday, we were over 200. Yesterday, we were over 200. So today has been kind of, because it's been raining and yucky all day.
But I will tell you, once the sun came out, I voted today, and there were at least half a dozen people walking in as always.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
as soon as the weather turned nicer, people were back out voting. It's exciting to see
Yes.
that engagement.
Yeah. It may be that as we get even closer, we may panic.
Right. Yes.
So think about that.
Yeah, right now, I just want to make sure that we have enough ballots to get through early voting, and then we can do another election day order.
What's our
Later
deadline? What's our drop dead deadline for getting an election day order?
Well, Kimberly at ESO and I have been back and forth about that because they're coming here for April 7th for LNA testing, and she would like to bring the ballots with. But I told her that, we may have to wait until a little bit after that so we can get a little more of an accurate election day order in which they would just be shipped. So,
Good. We want to run out of ballots.
no.
Okay, good. Well, yes, go ahead and place the order. I don't think you need a vote of us to do that.
Okay, I'll place the order tomorrow.
Moving on, any further comment on the registrar's report? Moving to unfinished business, relocation of 401. We finally did we get the State Board of Elections sign off finally?
Yes, it is all, the precinct move is done. I got the batch this morning, and Roz and Sherry helped me get it converted from this file to that file to the other file to get it submitted to the vendor. So everything is in hand with the vendor now to be printed and sent out.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a person from Wendell Walker's office to push that across the line.
Yeah, so it's done.
Good, good. Okay, it'll be good to see that all People's Church works out.
Yes.
So any other questions about 401 among the board here? I think that's good. Let's move on to new business. We carried over, it's sort of new business, the election worker software. And we've been discussing that. To report to people here, this is software that would help us manage the election officers. It would be much more transparent, much more usable for the election officers themselves. Could help us manage assignments of election officers, keep histories. It just is a real good idea. And a lot of jurisdictions in Virginia are moving to this. We as a board have discussed one particular vendor who is willing to let us do a free election for free. But given the variability of this election and what was happening, we seem to have things under control enough right now. It would be a real mammoth effort to upload everything and get this working properly. So we're going to put that off until after this election. But we're pretty committed to going ahead with the purchase of the software.
This will be ready for August primary.
Should be ready for the August primary.
That sounds good.
Keep that on our agenda, and put it on our agenda after the April canvass to go ahead and set it up. Okay, the next item is assignment of precinct chiefs and assistant chiefs. Betty, you've sent us out a list of people. Anything to comment about that list?
No, I have sent an email to all of the chiefs and assistant chiefs to just confirm that they're available and that they will come to training. So I don't have all the responses back yet, but the ones that I do have also yes.
Good. We have one person who's tentative.
Yes. Yeah, I did hear back from her. She would rather not move to that. So,
So
but
we might
she can't
have-
be an assistant at the place where she was before. So if I can find someone else, I'll let her stay.
You saw my email that ran in today about the one officer you mentioned who served last election, Steve. That
Oh,
might be
Oh,
a
right.
good choice.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, check it out. I've had some good
Well,
conversation.
yeah, I talked to Karen.
Okay, well, for what we have, it's timely to approve our selection of chiefs and deputy chiefs for the upcoming election. Statute sort of envisions that we do this ahead of the election. We have a good order this time. So do I hear a motion, maybe Betty, from you for us to approve this list of chiefs and deputy chiefs?
So
A second. Any further discussion? All in favor? It is passed. We also have 2026 election officers to approve.
take down their applications. So I have 15 people that I have applications from, or your applications are somewhere. Maybe Trish has them. But anyway, people that we tracked down and they want to be appointed. And so I haven't been into totals, so I can't tell you exactly what this list is. But I wrote down by party that they want to represent, and also the terms that they will be appointed to. So that will take us to, in terms of party affiliation, they're on the total list now will be 47 Democratic, 48 Republican, and 50 non-affiliated.
So this is the new affiliation. list.
Adding these in.
After we add
The
these.
same with the appointment list too, has added these numbers
And
in.
we're appointing a number to 3-year terms, which is great.
And yes, that means they're veterans.
That's exactly right.
All right, well, I would move that we, if there's more discussion, I would move that we appoint these 15 election officers.
Okay, I second it. Any further discussion? I'm going to say this is a pretty exceptional move of late applying.
There are several chiefs or assistant chiefs on this
Right.
list.
But that was because of the suddenness of this election,
Yeah,
and the questions and reports. But now we have a good range of people who are experienced to the election. Good job. Any further discussion?
No.
Any?
No.
I call the question. All in favor? Aye. It passes. These are elected to be, as election officers to the terms indicated. Okay, now we are at the section of the meeting for public comments. Are there any public comments from here or online? Rosner?
Yes, Jeff Rosner, Lynchburg Democratic Committee. I wanted to just comment on a few things from of course, the major hearing that we had in Lynchburg Circuit Court about early voting and the amendment and so on. But what I wanted to point out, not the big issues that everyone's aware of, but some possible issues that are local and were left unresolved in this case, but may come up again in the future. One is the relevance of the memorandum of understanding between the electoral board and registrar and the city. It seems that in bringing the lawsuit, city council simply ignored the MOU. And some things that might have been relevant. One is that in the MOU, the city agreed to provide office space for the registrar, of course, in the building over there. But one thing that was that the lawsuit by city council attempted to get a ruling on was whether the city could withhold resources from the registrar because of the issues in that case. So that really did not take into consideration what was in the MOU about the office location. Okay, so that's one issue. Another is legal representation, and the MOU provides that anything that has an effect on the registrar at the electoral board, legal representation would be through the state attorney general's office or the state risk management division. So this would seem to imply that the city could not bring a lawsuit on this kind of an issue, let alone bring it involving an outside attorney. So this raises the question as to whether the city council should have brought the lawsuit to begin with. Okay, third is because the way that the lawsuit was brought, or the plaintiff's statements, seem to be assuming that the registrar electoral board and the staff of the registrar's office, election officers and others, are city employees. And that's the question of whether they are, in fact, city employees or state employees. And in fact, in the interviews that were held outside the court after the court's decision came down, a reporter from WSET just asked that question: are they city employees or city officials, or state employees or state officials? But there was no answer to that question. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
May I ask a question, Jeff, perhaps the board? Are you registrar? Do you know the date of the memorandum of understanding? When was that put?
Last June.
Last June?
2025.
Okay.
It was amended about a month later to include another provision. But,
Do you know what prompted that MOU?
yes, there was a lot of ambiguity about the electoral board and the registrar's relationship with the city and the relationship with the city attorney. And so we felt a need to, both sides, all sides, felt a need to define that relationship better. There are similar memorandums of understanding with the sheriff's office and maybe the city or the clerk of court. I'm not sure about that. But there are certain things about the statutorily required bodies like ours that make them different than simply a part of the city. And so we have defined our relationship better. And it was, frankly, a very useful document in this last round of controversy. So we were able to use it well.
It's just that in the history of the General Registrar's Office in Lynchburg, this is from the 60s, 1960s to the present, there has not been anything written like that, anything formal like that. So I was just wondering what prompted it at this particular point.
I'm not sure, but there are other jurisdictions that are doing the same thing. And I checked as we were doing this process.
So it's just the atmosphere.
And so it was useful. And it was useful to expose things. Use of the city attorney is an interesting set of issues in itself. And so it's useful for us to know where we stand. Any other concerns, questions? Good. Any other comments from the board or any other business? We may have a very short meeting.
Right?
Nine, your motion to adjourn. Make a motion. A second. All in favor? Aye.